House of Representatives have just voted to sue President Obama. Okay, never mind that they're suing him for doing his job, that every legal scholar on both sides of the aisle say this case will be thrown out of court immediately. It's a waste of $1 million, and it's entirely politically motivated. But the real scandal is that this is a total waste of our time, our citizens' time, our taxpayers' time, just to have a grudge match. Here's what we should have been doing instead. We should have been voting on our proposal to let parents and students refinance student loans and take advantage of the low interest rates we have today. We should have been voting on a proposal to guarantee equal pay for equal work. And how about restoring emergency unemployment benefits for people who are still struggling out there in this economy? Or what about an increase in the minimum wage? And you know, I just want to say, the last time there was an increase in the tipped minimum wage for servers in restaurants, President Clinton was still Governor Clinton. Right now it's only $2.13. That's about the price of a cup of coffee that you buy at a restaurant. That's what we're paying our servers today. We have a lot of work to do, and the Republicans in Washington just aren't on our side. So far, they voted to roll back protections for workers in this country, to weaken labor unions, and you probably heard that they have voted more than 50 times to take away the health reforms of the Affordable Care Act. So I'm thrilled that President Clinton is coming here tonight. He knows a thing or two about being a good governor, and I think he's going to have a few things to say about the governor that we currently have in Maine. But in case he forgets anything, let me just say a couple of things. Just like the Republicans in Congress, we have a governor who's trying to take us backwards. He wants to undo what we've done, worked on for decades to accomplish. As you've already heard tonight, this governor